Hello everybody, welcome to A Trader's Journey. My name is Leslie Pips. Welcome to another Sunday Sessions video, and where I go through what I expect to happen or what I'm projecting for the week. And I didn't take any trades last week. I was a little bit busy, but also there's a lot of news coming up the last week, so I chose to stay away from the markets, but also, like I said, I was kind of occupied with a lot of stuff going on. And hopefully this week there'll be some opportunities that I can take advantage of. So I didn't trade last week, but we keep going. My setups, some of them were there, and then I missed them. But I didn't want to force the market, especially with the news coming up. And let's see what this week holds, and let's see how we open, and then we make adjustments from that. So jumping onto the weekly, I'll start on the euro dollar, and obviously, as you guys know, if you watched my previous videos, we are still on the uptrend. Obviously, you see break of structure, pullback, make another run, and then we had a mini pullback here after this massive weekly candle. Right, that's that's where we at the moment. So if I draw this line across like this on this order block, obviously we still closed above it. We didn't close below it. If you watched my video last week, I was waiting for price to close below this level and then trade this, targeting this low. But that didn't happen. Obviously, it was a pullback. It wasn't a direction change. So that's what the weekly looks like. At the moment, we had this bullish week. Obviously, we opened here, a little bit of a wick, but we never took out the lows, and we started running up, right? If you look here, there's a flip zone on this level, on this candle here, where price held for 1 week and then we broke last week. So I'm looking to see what happens in this area. Obviously, if we continue running, I'm looking at targets like this. If we break this, may hopefully end the year breaking this high over here. So that's what I'm looking at for the week coming up. So let me go down to the lower time frames and let's see what opportunities are there. As you can see, this is where Monday opened. It didn't come down like I expected. So obviously, if you see my last week's video, I had this level drawn up. I wanted it to break below this level and I take advantage of this run targeting this low. So that didn't happen. So now we had Monday open, 2 very bullish days, and then we stuck at this level here. This level will make sense when I go down to the 4-hour, but this is where the volume came in. Let me just adjust it a bit. See this thrust candle, that's where the volume came in that started this pullback. It's not an aggressive pullback, it's quite slow, indecisive candles in this area over here. This was indecisive. We had a deeper pullback. If I pull a fib on this run, I'll just put it on this thrust candle on the high here, and you see, let me zoom in a bit so you can see what I'm talking about. We had this thrust candle, this run, and then the pullback we held at 618. Price held there for 4 days, and then this is where Monday opened. Obviously, this was a Friday candle. This was Friday, and then we opened with a lot of momentum going up. So, but we still failed at this level. Obviously, with this run, obviously we still in a bullish market structure, and obviously you see these white candles having a run, pull back, and then we still fail to take this high. So hopefully next week we can run up here and take these highs here. But EU still looks very indecisive to me. It's not as clean, but let's look at it and see what opportunities can be there. So now we reacting at this volume area, right? Price hit this area on Thursday, started a retracement a little bit, and then we opened on Friday, had a mini rundown, and then we closed with the doji. There was a lot of indecision on Friday. On Friday, so you can see there's a doji candle here. So we swept Thursday, had a bit of run. We didn't close above the open price of Thursday. So if I go on the 4-hour, you can see we hit this level, reacted a bit, and we didn't break structure. We just wicked it. This thrust candle. If I look at this order block here, price is still holding at this order block. So we hit this volume on the 4-hour. This is the volume that started the pullback, and we hit it, and then we retraced back onto this level, this order block here. Price is still holding there, and so what I'm expecting a little bit of a little bit of pullback to see if we can come and take these highs, and maybe come take these highs here in the next week or so, right? So that's what I'm looking at. See if this hell level can hold. If price comes with some volume, closes below this level, rejects this level, then maybe we can see price failing to push up again. I feel like it's currently overpriced at these levels, and I feel like because we struggled to come take this high and this high, that the buyers are starting to fade a little bit, the sellers are starting to take over because of where the market is, and it's getting a little bit overpriced at the moment. So let's see what this level will do for us when we open tomorrow, in a few hours. Price, obviously the market will open at 5 p.m. New York on Sunday, and then let's see what happens. If we break this level, then I can look for a run to these lows and then readjust from there, right? So currently I'm a little bit indecisive with euro dollar, and let's see what we do at these levels. So I'm not going to go to the lower time frames because the price is not as clean. So I'm going to jump into GU, and we can see GU is a little bit weaker than EU is. So let's go on the weekly, and you can see the weekly looks a little bit different than EU, right? So what do we see on EU? On the weekly, obviously an uptrend as usual, and reacts on this long-term high, and we had 3 bearish weeks. 1, 2, 3. Failed to break this level, opened and ran to fill this gap, all right? And then we closed very bearishly. You can see the sellers took over at this point and pushed price down a little bit. But at this moment, it's either we reject here and make another run to see if we can break these highs and start running like that, or I'm looking at this level here. If we break it and then retest, then we can start looking at lows like here and lows like here. But this is how we're gonna finish the year. If we break this low, we're gonna start running at these lows here. I'm talking about first low here, second low here, second low at this level here, and then this is how we're gonna possibly close out the year. If we break this level, because I feel like if we break this level, we're gonna see some bearish trend starting to form. I still feel like price is overpriced. It's overpriced at this level. We hit the 138, and then we saw this coming in. So it's still a bit overpriced. I still need this level to break. Then we'll start seeing levels like this. Let me just put them on. I'll take them off. levels like this starting to break, that'll tell me that the market structure is shifting a little bit. At this moment, it's still indecisive, and we still stuck in a mini range. It's not a big range. In a mini range, this range here, we're still stuck in between these two price points. So if I go down to the daily, it looks a little bit cleaner than EU, right? Obviously, we had this push here, failed at this level, and then we saw some volume come in. So what I'm hoping is anything we need to close below this level over here on the daily. That's when I can make my decision. If we reject here, then I can go long. If we break with this level, then it'll confirm my short. At this moment, price is stuck in this range, and it could go either way. But for me, the fact that we stuck here, it showed me that price is starting to maybe change direction a bit after such a long bullish trend, because you can see there's a head and shoulder pattern also forming here. So for me, this level is key. This is quite a key level for me, and hopefully Monday closes like this and then we reject here. Then I can look for these for the market to run like this. So at the moment, I'm still just watching it to see if we reject this level again, and if we break it, then I can start thinking of changing my buys on pound dollar. At the moment, I'm still in between, and it's all about Monday. Let's see what Monday does, and we'll make a decision from there. So I'll look on the 4-hour. It looked a bit clean. Obviously, you see the rejection here and a big run. This started on Thursday. Price started to run. I should expect it to come sweep these areas over here after we open. So you should come here, sweep, and see what decisions have been made at this price point. So we at this moment we wait and see, because price is in the middle of this range, and let's see if we reject or break this area. So I'm not going to go to the lower time frames because of price is still indecisive. I'm still indecisive on what this market is trying to do. So let's leave that for now and reevaluate it on Monday after the market's open. Plus, it's the last week of the month next week. And so just be careful out there when you're trading. There tends to be a lot of volume and a lot of manipulation on the last week of the trading month. So be careful when you trade, minimize your risk, and make smart decisions. So that's pound dollar. Gold. Gold is a bit of a tricky one for me. If I go on the weekly doesn't look good. I'm not gonna analyze it much. Obviously, we had this big bullish run and then we closed very bearishly, and we still stuck in this ugly range on the weekly, right? Price is failing to create new highs now, and it's failing to break these lows. So I'm not gonna look at the weekly because it's not clean. On the daily, you can see it's starting to break this this flag, this price range here. If I would just put this like this, we're starting to break out of this little not so clean uptrend, and obviously 3 very bearish days on gold. Close just outside of this range, so I'm expecting a bit of a mini pullback when we open. I'm expecting price to just pull back into this last low pre-break, and maybe just come revisit this areas and see, and we can make a decision from there. But if I see a clean market structure at this level, let me just drag it across at this level, if I'm awake at the time, because obviously this gold opens at 6 p.m. New York on Sunday, and we'll make a decision from there. If I go on the 4 hour, let me just pop back the channel in there. So we broke out of this channel, and I'm just looking at gold to retrace a bit, to retest this level again. Maybe I can make a decision here if I see my setup happen, but I feel like we're gonna start taking targeting these lows, and this structure low. If we hold outside of this channel and we see a clean entry at this area, that's when I'll be looking to get it active on the market. So at the moment, I'm hoping gold opens a little bit with a pullback, fill some of these gaps and close below this level. Let me just move this so it'll make it neater. Just a bit of a pullback, fill some of these gaps, and then when we break below, so this is what I'm looking at, right? A little bit of these gaps, and then if we close below this area, retest, then I'll be looking for that'll be my target for the week if the market acts the way I predicted it'll act. I was watching this closely last week, and on Friday, let's see how we close. So that's my prediction of gold. If I manage to get to cash price in this area, then I'll be looking to get active on gold. This is the first time gold has looked so clean in a while. Obviously, especially after these two runs here, after this run and this run over here. After these two runs, it's the first time gold has been so clean in a long time, because we've had this ugly price action. For the first time, we've got some decisive runs on gold, but at the moment it's still unsure about it. But if I do get active, I'm gonna size down on gold, maybe risk 0.5%, and then if I do take a trade, I'll do an update for you guys within the week, and I'll update you to see if I took this trade. But it looks like my kind of setup, a little bit of a corrective structure to pull back into this area, then I'll be looking to get active. So that's gold. UJ, let's check on the weekly. UJ looks a little bit bearish, but this is ugly, and pull back last week, fill this gap a little bit, didn't fill all of it, and then obviously we opened with a bit of a gap and we closed in the middle of this candle. So if we are gonna run next week, this is the level that I'll be looking to enter, because if you look closely, this is a weekly order block, this one here, and we had a big reaction at this level. You'll see on the daily, we hit this order block. Let me just move this across. It's a weekly order block, and it was a bit of a deep pullback. Let me just draw to the high and the low. You'll see we even went all the way to this 764. But obviously we had this volume come in, didn't take these lows, didn't even sweep them. We had this ugly pullback into this order block, and then we reacted from it. So if I go down to the lower time frames, you'll see what I'm talking about. See, this is the order block, the weekly order block. This is the inflection point. It's a gap between this high and the volume area, and we hit this order block and then reacted from it, but we still haven't broken down this level. So this was a mini pullback. If I draw the fib from this run, we pull back into this golden zone, right between the 0.5 and the 618. So we pulled back in there, closed above the 0.5. We didn't break the 0.5, and then we started going bullish again. So let's see how we open on Monday, but I feel like this is the high. That should be the target. And if I just have a look at this volume area, and you see a sweep and price, this candle didn't engulf this, but this one did engulf these two candles. So I am going to be looking for a little bit of a open with a retracement like that into this area, and then be the target for the week if we open the way I predicted. We're going to 4 hour. Let me just quickly explain it to you. See, on the 4 hour, it looks a bit cleaner. We had this corrective structure into this volume area, and we broke out of the corrective structure. Let me put this trend line here. We broke out of the structure with a bit of volume and swept this area, and I'm expecting a little bit of a retracement coming down into a little bit of retracement into this volume area, and then we can target this area. So if we something, let me just draw it for you guys, show you what I'm looking for. Something like a little bit of a it's not working. Okay, if you see something like this, a little bit of a retracement into this area, hold, and then run here. Obviously this is a break of structure, so I'm not expecting price to break this area, this high here. I'll draw this line. So this is when I'm going to be trying to get active. I might have a bit of a big stop loss and then target the high here, depending on how we react from this area, but I'll just adjust from there. But this is what I'm expecting on UJ. Let me just mark it UJ and gold for now. That's the trade for tomorrow or Tuesday if these setups happen. So this is what I'm looking at for these two for the week, and we adjust. The market has been very indecisive and not as clean, but obviously if you can find opportunities within these type of markets, I suggest you go for it. So bit of a lengthy video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.